Hello internet people. I wanted to shoot a short video for the people that have less time and attention to read the blog post that I wrote. And the post is basically summarizing 5 key takeaways I took from a book I've recently just finished, which is Stillness is the Key. And the interesting thing about books and most content that people consume is that timing is everything. So having the ability to read something or consume a piece of content at the right time in your life usually has a bigger impact, and I happened to stumble across this book at a moment in my time in my life that was definitely needed. And in the book it's basically broken up into 3 segments, which is mind, spirit, and body. And stillness is obviously the entirety of the book is talking about this term stillness. And I've made 5 points in the post, but I'll just cover 3 here. If you're interested in the other 2, you can go to the post. But the 3 I want to touch on here for the book on Stillness is the Key for Mind Holiday is there's 3, right? So one is the E word, another one is journaling, and the other one is the comfort, I think he called it comfort creep, that's what he called it. And I'll start with comfort creep. So in comfort creep, there's 2 pieces in there that really stood out to me that kind of focus on the same thing but from different angles. And the 2 angles for comfort that he speaks about is the comfort in the status that we have and the treatment that how we're treated. And the other piece of comfort is the objects that we have around us and the luxuries that we have. And the first piece around status and treatment was a section or a part of Ulysses S. Grant, the general from America. He was in the Civil War. And he was also a president. And before all of that, he actually had a long chain of financial downfalls. And he basically was in poverty. And he was selling wood on the side of the road in St. Louis for a while. And he was making money that way. And this was actually after he went to a prestigious academy for the military. And he had a bunch of schoolmates that were around St. Louis or around the country. And one of them actually stopped by and saw him selling wood on the side of the road. And they stopped and freaked out and basically asked him what he was doing and why he was there and what was happening to him. And the point Ryan gets across in his books in this section is that Grant basically responded to his classmate in that moment in time, basically stating that, and I'm going to read this out so I don't get it wrong, is I'm solving the problem of poverty. And he said it in a way that was calm, collected, and still, hence the word stillness. And the important piece I got from this, which I really resonated with me, is basically having the ability to realize that there is no down or back in one's career, that it's completely okay to go back to that state in time where you are maybe doing something that isn't necessarily as prestigious as you thought you would be doing, because all jobs are jobs that are needed, and all problems are problems that need to be solved. And if you're able to kind of adjust your perspective and realize that at this moment in time I need to solve poverty, so I need to do whatever I can to pay for rent and food, and accept that and be okay with it and work towards it, I think that's a really good mindset to have. And for me, I actually carry around a Taco Bell badge that I had when I worked at Taco Bell wrapping tacos. And it's a reminder for me to realize that it's okay and it's completely acceptable to go back to that if needed. So there's another piece in here for comfort creep that I'm just going to read off to you, which is we get so used to a certain level of convenience and luxury that it becomes almost inconceivable that we used to live without it. As wealth grows, so does our sense of normal. So that really resonated as well, because it seems as if it's, with a lot of the people I work with inside of my company, outside of my company, it seems as if they're always keeping up with the Joneses, and everything is either subconsciously or consciously becoming more expensive due to the fact that of the more things they have, the higher expensive experiences they go on, etc. So I think having that mindset of saying that it's okay to kind of not do that and back down from spending a lot and kind of just living a minimal lifestyle is a form of stillness that I appreciate. So next is journaling. So journaling isn't something I've done much in my life. I've never been much of a person that journals. But Ryan makes a really good argument in this book around the importance of journaling, and how he basically lined up a long list of a variety of inspirational characters from all walks of life that had some form of journaling in their daily or weekly routines. And I thought that was quite interesting, and he actually convinced me so much that I applied it to my daily life, and I started doing that about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And like I said, this book was very timely for me. And having said that, going through a weird time right now, a transitional phase in my life and my career, having that ability to basically take these fluffy, fuzzy, vague, irrational, usually false assumption ideas and thoughts in my head and put them on paper and actually make that concrete instead of something that's vague has actually helped me a lot. It's given me the ability to realize that these thoughts aren't necessarily mine, or maybe these thoughts have gotten in there by someone else and I didn't necessarily vet those thoughts enough to say that this is something that I truly believe or I truly want to do or think needs to be seen in the world. So I think journaling has been a game changer for me, has been basically super critical for me to kind of make a lot of my thoughts and a lot of my plans and make them concrete and really think it through. So thanks to this book, I'm convinced that journaling is super useful, and I'll probably continue to do it for the long term. And the last one is the E word. So the E word is enough. And there's a specific section that I really appreciate that I'll quote here, where there was 2 authors, quite famous, Joseph Heller and Kurt Vonnegut. Kurt Vonnegut wrote Slaughterhouse-Five, and Joseph Heller wrote Catch-22. And they were both at a house party, and it was Kurt making fun of Joe. So Kurt basically stated, Joe, how does it feel that our host only yesterday may have made more money than your novel has earned in its entire history? And Joe responded saying, I've got something he can never have. Kurt replied, and what on earth can that be? So Joe responded and said, the knowledge that I've got enough. And this resonated with me as well, because it's something I've been pondering for a while, which is this word enough, and applying it to more than just other people, but applying it to myself. And telling myself that certain things are enough. Because if you're like me, and I'm assuming most of you are, and a lot of the people that I surround myself by tend to be type A. And those type A people are always trying to progress, they're always trying to achieve, they're always setting new goals, they're always trying to learn, they're always trying to do something, they're always trying to move forward, either emotionally, physically, intellectually, psychologically, whatever it is. And I think that's completely fine. Progress, achievement, and goal is good. But at the same time, I think there should be a balance of stating and telling yourself that this is enough, and having that sense of calming bliss and stillness in yourself to state that, you know, I've done good, and this is enough, at least for now. And by doing that, you're kind of rewarding yourself and saying you've done good. This is like you've accomplished what you wanted, enough. So I think that's something that is quite interesting, and I think we should all think about more. So those are the three. Those are the 3 things I wanted to tell you about in this short-ish video. Go to the post if you want more. And yeah, thanks for listening. I hope this recorded correctly. If not, I'm not going to record it again. So I'll see you later, Internet.